Hi. For those of you that are new here, welcome to Boho Bookworm. For those of you returning, welcome back. I thought it would be a really fun video today to go onto Goodreads and see the most recent books that I've added to my Goodreads TBR list, all the books that either the cover has excited me or the premise sounds really good. I think a lot of us are guilty of just putting in so many books that we know we're probably not ever going to read into our Goodreads TBR. So I just wanted to see what my top, like maybe the latest 5 that I have put into my little list. So let's have a look, shall we? Oh, the first book is one that I actually added just the other day because it is getting quite a lot of attention on BookTube lately. Some people are absolutely fascinated with it. Others are like squirming and disgusted by it. So, I mean, that kind of sounds right up my street. Tender is the Flesh by Agustina, Bazterrica and Sarah Moses as the translator. So it is a translated work. It's horror, science fiction, dystopian. I wonder what language it was written in. Let's have a look. The author's from Buenos Aires. Let's see what it's about and if it's the kind of thing that I would actually eventually pick up. With this one, I kind of know I will because I just added it like the other day. Working at the local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. His wife has left him, his father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries not to think too hard about how he makes a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus has made all animals meat poisonous to humans. Then, governments initiated the transition. Now, eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tried to stick to numbers, consignments, processing. Then one day, he's given a gift, a live specimen of the finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved. I've heard that it is gruesome, and I mean, I don't know, I'm really not one for cannibalism. I think there's been a couple of movies and TV shows that I have attempted to watch about it and it just freaks me out. And that being said, my stomach grumbles. Awesome. That is not a contradiction, I promise. Just haven't had time to have breakfast yet. I'm definitely going to keep this one in my Goodreads TBR because I'm just very intrigued by it. I have no idea how it would go, but I'm looking forward to it. I might even try to read it before the end of the year. The next one on the list is My Darling Husband by Kimberly Belle. Now this is my kind of normal, typical thriller that I just love. Best-selling author of Dear Wife and The Marriage Lie, Kimberly Belle returns with her most heart-pounding thriller to date as a masked home invader reveals the cracks in a marriage. Home invasion stories, sign me up. Oh, the main character's called Jade, how cool. That's like the 3rd book in a while. Jade is like the new name. Thank you. Everyone is about to know what her husband isn't telling her. Jade and Cam Lasky are by all accounts a happily married couple with 2 adorable kids, a spacious home and a rapidly growing restaurant business. But their world is tipped upside down when Jade is confronted by a masked home invader. As Cam scrambles to gather the ransom money, Jade starts to wonder if they're as financially secure as their lifestyle suggests, and what other secrets her husband is keeping from her. Cam may be a good father, a celebrity chef, and a darling husband, but there's another side to him he's kept hidden from Jade that has put their family in danger. Unbeknownst to Cam and Jade, the home invader has been watching them and is about to turn their family secrets into a public scandal. With riveting twists and a breakneck pace, My Darling Husband is an utterly compelling thriller that once again showcases Kimberly Belle's exceptional talent for domestic suspense. I predict that to be a 5-star read. Let's see what's next, shall we? Ooh, this one Jacqueline has been talking about. I don't think she's read it yet, but it sounds amazing from what she said. The 7 Visitations of Sydney Burgess by Andy Marino. This is like a holiday Halloween psychological thriller. I think, if I remember correctly, before I read this premise, I'm pretty sure this is also about a little home invasion. From a thrilling new voice in horror, Andy Marino, comes a haunting tale of a woman whose life begins to unravel after a home invasion. She's told she killed the intruder, but she can't remember, and no one believes her. I mean, when I had my home invasion happen to me in South Africa, I ran after him and tried to stab him with a knife. So yeah, I didn't really even think about what I was doing until it was already too late. I did not stab him. He climbed through my kitchen window, which he'd broken open with a brick that he threw through my window in the middle of the night when I was home alone. But yeah, he escaped, and I did not get to have my revenge, which is probably a good thing, because I don't really want to be in jail. I quite like life on the outside. Not that I know what it's like on the inside. But I can't imagine it being very good after seeing things like, what is it, like that TV show where those people all try and, is it 60 Days In or something like that, where like normal people go in and they try and pretend that they are a convict to get information. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good. Anyway, Sydney spent years burying her past and building a better life for herself and her 11-year-old son. A respectable marketing job, a house with reclaimed and sustainable furniture, and a boyfriend who loves her son and accepts her, flaws and all. But when she opens her front door and a masked intruder knocks her briefly unconscious, everything begins to unravel. It's always a masked intruder. Mine wasn't masked, he had a horrible face. There were two of them, actually. She wakes in the hospital and tells a harrowing story of escape, of dashing out a broken window, of running into her neighbour. This book might actually trigger me. I mean, it's something that I have come to terms with quite a lot, but I mean, I'm busy writing a home invasion story myself at the minute that has nothing to do with what happened to me. It's a completely different premise, but the fact that it's like a broken window and everything like that, that could actually potentially trigger me. She wakes up in hospital and tells a harrowing story of escape, of dashing out a broken window, of running into her neighbour's yard and calling the police. What the cops tell her is that she can no longer trust her memories, because they say that not only is the intruder lying dead in her guest room, but he's been murdered in a way that seems intimately personal. When she returns home, Sydney can't shake the deep darkness that hides in every corner. There's an unnatural whisper in her ear, urging her back to old addictions. And as her memories slowly return, she begins to fear that her new life was never built on solid ground, and that the secrets buried beneath would change everything. That does sound really good. I think from what Jacqueline said, that it could be almost like a possession story as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if it would be a 5-star prediction for me, because unbelievable stuff like possession and stuff, I don't really believe in that stuff. I like to freak myself out with it, but don't actually believe it. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to read that. That is staying. So far, the next one. Gabby loved this book. She was petrified. I tried to see if it was on Audible the other day, actually, but it's not, so I need to buy a physical copy of it. It's called Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. A romantic cabin getaway doesn't go exactly as planned. High up on the windswept cliffs of Pale Peak, Faye and Felix celebrate their new engagement, but soon a chorus of ghastly noises erupts from the nearby woods, the screams of animals, the cries of children, and the mad babble of 100 mournful voices. A dark figure looms near the windows in the dead of night, whispering to Faye. As the weather turns deadly, Felix discovers that his terrified fiancée isn't just mumbling in her sleep, she's whispering back. Originally a contest-winning story on reddits.com, the horror community No Sleep, Stolen Tongues. I didn't know that was a thing. I might go and write a little story and try and win. Not that I will, but one can hope. Stolen Tongues has received widespread acclaim and is now being adapted into a feature film. Oh, brilliant. Now I've got to read it because, yeah, and Gabby, she was reading it in one of her reading blogs. And she was like, she literally could not read it at night. She could only read it in the daylight because it got too scary. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. God, I've got good taste. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more because on Goodreads, they always show you like the top 6 that you've added recently. The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. So this is a companion novel to There's Someone Inside Your House. This is considered to be like an adventure, survival, kind of mystery thriller, a bit more of like a YA, which, yeah, I predict this one to be around a 3-star for me, which means, would I actually even bother reading it? Let's see. Bears aren't the only predators in these woods. Best friends, Nina and Josie, spent high school as outsiders, but at least they had each other. Now, with college and a 2,000-mile separation looming on the horizon, they have one last chance to be together. A 3-day hike deep into the woods of the Pisgah National Forest. Simmering tension lead to a detour off the trail and straight into a walking nightmare, and then into something far worse, something that will test them in horrifying ways. I mean, it does sound gripping. Ooh, Vanessa from The Paper Fairy, she gave it a 4-star review. Rachel from The Shades of Orange, she has marked it as too litten. Dahlia has marked it as too read already. A lot of my friends that I know from BookTube have already added it. So, oh, Peter from Peter Likes Books gave it a 1-star review. He said, really slow, not good, almost DNF'd several times. I might skip this one. All right, the last book that I will chat to you about today is one that I am definitely picking up because I loved their first book, The Club by Ellery Lloyd. Their first one, it's a husband and wife writing duo team, and their first book is called People Like Her. Fantastic thriller. From the author of People Like Her, a smart and sinister murder mystery set in the secretive world of exclusive celebrity clubs where the A-list members and the staff who serve them all have something to hide. The Club. The A-list is dying to join. Envisioned as a luxurious home away from home for very important people, the Home Group is a collection of celebrity members clubs dotted across the globe, from London to Lisbon, Malibu to Manhattan, where the rich and famous can party hard and then crash out in its 5-star suites, far from the prying eyes of fans and the media. The most spectacular and exclusive of all is Island Home, a sprawling, closely guarded complex of faux rustic guest cabins, spas, bars and restaurants just off the English coast. I did love the English element to People Like Her, so I'm looking forward to more of that in the next book. To mark its opening, Home's mercurial CEO, Ned Groom, and his team have planned a glamorous 3-day launch party, easily the most coveted A-list invites of the year. But behind the scenes, tensions are at breaking point. Years behind schedule and vastly over budget, the project has stretched a long-serving and long-suffering team to their limits. There's Ned's trusted PA, who has over decades manoeuvred her way from coat check girl to Holmes' inner circle. Ned's younger brother, who has sacrificed his marriage morals to be Ned's right-hand man. The head of membership, keeping the world's most spoiled and jaded individuals entertained using any means necessary. The head of housekeeping, who plays silent witness to the guests' very worst excesses. All of them have something to hide. And that's before the beautiful people with their own ugly secrets even set foot on the island. That kind of sounds to me like it's going to be a big cast of characters, and I don't really like that in books. I get really confused if there's too many characters. I like to keep things a bit more simple. But we'll see. I have to read it because of how much I loved the other book. As tempers fray and behaviour worsens, as things get more sinister by the hour and the body count piles up, some of the Island Home's members begin to wish they'd never RSVP'd at all, because at this club, if your name's on the list, you're not getting out. Okay, so besides The Woods Are Always Watching, I'm definitely going to eventually read all of those books. Let me know if you found any of them intriguing and if you're going to be picking any of them up. Right, I have to go. I am going to a Mexican evening. I'm ready for some spicy guacamole. Have a lovely day further, everyone, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.